So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the BBC putting out some blatant propaganda from a person who owns a lot of office space and retail complex, and why this is more propaganda here. So people are tired of working from home. So who's made this statement? This guy here. People are keen to return to the office because working from home has left many fatigued, says a boss at Britain's biggest office and retail complex. I wonder why he would have a vested interest in people going back to the office. Is it because he's a landlord, essentially, and he needs people to go back into work so that, his offices are full and people don't stop buying office space because most of their employees can work from home, and also he wants people to go back into, shopping centres because he owns retail space. Could that be the reason? Could this guy be making a genuinely good faith argument about people being tired about, working from home? Or is it that he has a vested interest in people going back to offices? I wonder. Working from home or going for your hour commute to get to work, which one is better? Being able to eat lunch at home and order the food that you want, or going to commute and getting a sandwich because they don't have much available. I wonder. So, Howard Dorber, such a great name for a guy like this, proper dorky name, head of strategy at Canary Wolf Group, said people will still want to divide time between the workplace and home, but they are missing office and city centre life, he told the BBC. The Canary Wolf financial complex in London has only about 6,000 people on site against 100,000 pre-COVID, but Mr. Dorbler told the BBC's Today programme that people will be eager to return to get back to office after so long away from the workplace. Yeah, people love the workplace. We've got to the point where there's a lot of fatigue out there, he said. People working from home for the first couple of months of the year where the sun was shining and people were enjoying perhaps a more flexible environment. There was a sense that this was going to be a short-term process. I think now that people are really missing that opportunity to collaborate with and see their friends in the office, to get your haircut and to go out and get a good coffee at lunchtime and do all the life admin things you can do in a city. The thing is, right, you can get a haircut anyways. Once the lockdown, you can get a haircut. You can see your friends outside of office space if you actually like them. If they're not just work friends, you can get a coffee at lunchtime. You can order it to your house, or you can make really nice coffee at home, which is way cheaper than going to places like Costa, which are well overpriced. Starbucks makes decent coffee, but it's overpriced. You can stay at home and make yourself a nice coffee, and to do all the things, all the life admin things you can do in a city centre. What does that even mean? Life admin things. This is brazen propaganda here from this man, because he's got no evidence of people being tired. He's got no surveys or anything like that. He's just saying, I feel like, maybe he feels annoyed because his business's bank balance is a bit lower, will be a bit lower in a few years than it is now. While Mr. Dorbler said Canary Wolf expects occupancy levels to return to where they were before the pandemic, I don't think they will. The increase will be gradual and people still want to work from home on some days. I think it is going to be more socially acceptable for people to take the occasional day working from home, he said. So it may well be that people have a desk at Canary Wolf, but some people will choose to work at home one day a week or a couple of days a month, and that's a good thing because his business will still make money, and his office will take less kind of like damage, I guess, because there'll be less, people won't be there all the time, but they'll still be paying to rent the office. So some companies expect home working to continue once coronavirus restrictions have been lifted. Lloyds Banking Group is set to reduce its office space by 20% over 2 years after a staff survey found that nearly 80% wanted to work at home for at least 3 days of the week. I wonder, so Lloyds have actual evidence and this gentleman here, Mr. Dorber, doesn't. Interesting that this survey contradicts what he has said. However, other such investment banks, such as Goldman Sachs, have rejected remote working as the new normal, with Chairman and Chief Executive Dave Solomon calling it an aberration. Last month, Barclays Chief Jez Staley has said working from home was not sustainable. At a virtual meeting at the World Economics Forum, he said it will increasingly be a challenge to maintain the culture and collaboration that these large financial institutions seek to have and should have. It's a bit of a joke, to be honest, what these guys are talking about. I mean, what the Barclays guy is talking about, I don't know. Perhaps he should actually talk to his employees rather than, just going off his gut feelings here. But what we can see from this is that, the people who own retail space, I think even Alan Sugar was complaining about it as well whilst he was on holiday in some other country, complaining about people, not being in offices and stuff like that. Safe going back to the office, go back. And then we got hit with a second wave, and everyone's like, well, you done goofed, son. And yeah, I wonder why Dorber would have a vested interest in people going back to office space, and why the BBC failed to mention that in a headline. It's just embarrassing from the BBC, embarrassing from Dorber, and perhaps these businesses should actually talk to their employees. People have been working from home for about a year now, and so maybe that they could talk to employees and say, look, if you'd rather work from home, that's great, because now we can reduce office space. We can use the office space for other things. There's possibilities here. But, this argument that Dorber is making is just very fraudulent and very pointless. So, brazen propaganda again from the BBC. I'm embarrassed. I have second-hand embarrassment for them. But, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.